Hey everybody, it's Friday night. Friday night with DC. It's going to be a good show. Stick around. We got some great things coming up. Here we go. What a week it's been, guys. What a week. Oh, man. This week has been up and down all week long. Highs and lows, and lots of lows and lots of highs. Anyway, we'll get started here tonight with a couple opening things here. As you know, we've been working on our radio and our online streaming and the different options for that. And we have a ton of things going on here. We're currently working on our radio, but if you're listening on YouTube or Rumble or even Facebook, I just want to let you know that you can now listen to us on the EIOBN.com website. The EIOBN.com website, and that is the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network.com. And also, for those of you that know, we've been working on getting our apps going and trying to get those taken care of, and we've been wrestling with that for several weeks. But as of now, for those of you that are using Android, you can go to your Google Play. You need to search as DC Justice, and you'll see our logo, and it'll have a golden microphone, and click that, and you got it on your phone. You can listen to it 24/7, which is fantastic. And of course, Apple, one of the hardest people to deal with, is still working on our stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. But like I said, you can listen to us either on the EIOBN.com website. Just click listen, and you're right there. And we're glad to have this. And just so you know, we are broadcasting on this radio network on multiple streams, but we are also all around the United States, in every state, plus also at this point we are all around the world. Now, those that are in Germany and China and all these other, I don't know if they can understand what we're saying or not, but you know, konnichiwa or whatever you want to say. But we're glad that that God has actually given us this opportunity to have this network and to broadcast the way we are and stream the way we are and make an impact in what we're doing here. And for those of you that are new, DC Live, what we are is we present news, breaking news, real-time news, intel that you're going to hear prior to certain things taking place, and you will. And I've been a trusted source, and I'll continue to be a trusted source, and I'll continue to be accurate. And if I'm unsure about something, I won't say it. But we are in the fight for freedom still. And, the next thing is moving forward with what we're doing with our apps. We're not only just stopping there, we're moving forward when we actually have, we're redoing our whole studio here, which is fantastic. It's going to be wonderful, beautiful. And then also on top of that, we're working on our camera system in here to where there will be webcams in here to where you can see live of what's taking place during a broadcast and be a part of that. And because, here's the thing, guys. We are 100% patriot, MAGA-driven, American-driven, and we are right now the only one in America has a 24/7 true source of intel and breaking news, and not just someone that's just or an organization or a radio station is just like the rest of them that scrape at little things here and there and just try to grab something just for some content. But we're on that. And here's the thing is we're moving forward to where every day, it's something that I'm currently working on, to actually be able to be on here every single day during your work day or however you're doing it, but to where you'll be able to listen on your apps still, be directly on your phone. No one can censor what we're saying. And that's what makes us different from the others. Now, on any other platform, I know you can have some of these other social media platforms, and you can say pretty much kind of what you want, but you're still filtered. And guess what? We have no filter here. What you're going to hear is great stuff. But I want to encourage you also with listening to us tonight, but please consider supporting us in our endeavors here to bring you 100% Patriot, MAGA driven, and just playing out 24/7 freedom, music, and news and intel and current events. And it is your continued support that helps us grow and do what we're doing and moving forward now with cameras and different things that we need to. And just so you know, no one takes a salary here. No one, not even me, don't take a salary here. Which means 100% of what you do donate or sow into this cause is going 100% straight into equipment and making it better and stronger and making our presence more secure and to where we can even do greater things. And so this year I'm looking forward to several high intense intel people that will be coming in and doing some interviews and talking. And I'm not going to release who they are yet because we don't want to jeopardize that. And I wouldn't actually do it until the night of. And and that's just what we got to do. That's the world we live in, folks, and we just have to do that. But just continue to pray for us, but support us if you can. And on our website, eiobn.com, there is a place on there to donate. If you click that, it's secure. Then plus also, if you want to do even like a Cash App, you can just do at DCIntel1 and send it that way, and it goes directly to the same thing. And so some new additions that we're working on with this show, not only with the apps and just continue to grow and that's what I'm saying. When you support it, we can do better things. And so what we're doing now is a new segment that I'm working on is actually, and I'm hoping to have it up by next week. And that is actually to where we can actually at this point start being able to interact more with you, the listener, questions and answers and things of such, to where you'll be able to call in and be able to speak to me and ask questions and just have more interaction. That's what we're trying to do, because together, not me separate, all together we can do this thing. All together we can spread the message of unity and just being a pure red-blooded American that just loves the voice of freedom. And that's what we're about, is the voice of freedom. So don't forget, go to eiobn.com and click donate and help us out there. And like I said, we're going to be having cameras in here and all that good stuff, and we're working all that out right now. But and hopefully currently, I'm working on trying to get on here to where I can do this daily for at least 2 hours. And that's something great that we need in this country is during the day you need real-time news and intel. Plus also, you don't really have anything like that much anymore. We just don't. But anyway, we're going to get started here. But man, what a week we've had, guys. What a week. And I hate to say this. But man, the last week, starting with Saturday and everything that happened, one of the things I said on my show after that was that the Trump that we're going to see, there will be a new Trump to appear in front of us. And what I mean by that is not someone that's in a mask, not someone that's been killed off and replaced, none of that nonsense. I'm talking about the same person, but a different mindset and a different outlook. And I hate to tell you this, folks, but guess what? That's exactly what we just saw. And the amount of focus, man, when they announced him, the amount of focus that he had the very first night. Now, the very first night, it was at Monday night when they announced him, and he comes out and he has the bandage on his ear and people, I know, yeah, y'all, you're always going to have someone to gripe and complain and people to say, oh, well, that's for ops, and that's just because he's trying to get more sympathy. And the truth is, no, he had his ear almost blown off. But these same people that are saying, oh, well, he's got that on his ear and it's all for, these are the same dinglings that still walk around with a mask on right now to this day. And these are the same ones, including Biden, saying, if you just get the vaccine, if you get the vaccine, you get the booster, you won't even get COVID. And that sucker's sitting up now laid up with COVID real bad. At least they say that's what it is. But I don't pay no attention. But when they first showed him in his face, you could see, if you watch it, you could just see his countenance was completely different than it normally is. Completely different. I mean, the amount of focus that he had, the seriousness look in his eyes, and he was just an intense look about him, but yet also a look of gratefulness, one, to be alive. And let me just say this. I've always been a big Trump supporter, and other things, but this time was different. And I believe, you may think I'm crazy, I really don't care, but I believe when he was shot and he, in that moment, went to the ground, and he at that moment was, trying to figure out what was going on, all that, blood on his face, on the ground, his shoes off. I think he actually had a great awakening with God at that moment. And I think when he got out of that, and I know his granddaughter had said in an interview, said that her and her dad found out about it. They was on a boat fishing, and when they found out about it, it was like 90 minutes after they even found out that they even knew where he was at and what was going on, because it was so quiet. And I believe during that time, President Trump, and that's what I'm going to call him, guys. Y'all can call him the next president. He's President Trump to me. He's still President Trump. And no matter what the left may say or whatever, oh, he ain't that. He's still my president. I don't care what you say. That's just how it is. And so with his look, that when he came out, and there's a picture that actually came out that had Trump on it, and it said, "America United." I knew it that he actually, something had changed with him, because yes, it's still "Make America Great," and we get all that, but his focus changed because he realized that just a few inches away, he could have been gone. And if America is not united, at least to some point, now it's not going to be united 100%. We know that. There's always going to be whack jobs out there, and there's always going to be people that will never see light of anything. But his focus now was upon unity, and that's exactly what we need. We need the unification. And when I saw him come out and he walked out there, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there watching it, and my heart was pounding with pride, one, and two, gratefulness, and then also I'm not gonna lie, man, I almost shed a big tear. It was so emotional and so moving, because we were all tied up in this thing with Saturday, what took place. And you can have all this adrenaline going and all this bad adrenaline dumping. And then you also have the news saying this, and you have social media saying this, and it's keeping everybody up in arms and everything. And it's like we can finally see this guy and see that he's okay and he's going to make it. And here's the thing. If I was never a Trump supporter, which I've always been, if I was never a Trump supporter and never someone that voted for him or anything, I would be now. Because he proved to us the heart of America. And the heart of America, and the heart of an American, a true patriot, is you can take it, you can be bleeding, but you can still stand back up and look at the audience and say, we will fight. We will fight. Because if the enemy wants this fight, then bring it on. But you know what? God is greater than the enemy, and we win. We win. And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter. Do you understand that even in the Bible, and I don't mean to get biblical here, but even in the Bible, there's so many people that were used by God. Look at David. David, a murderer, a cheater, all these things. He was a man. The Bible says he was a man after God's own heart. And that tells me this. It doesn't matter how ruthless and how scoundrel someone may be. If God wants to use them, he will put them at the front of the pack. That's just how it works. And if you don't like it, it's not political. Go to God and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing here. Take it up with him. But you don't come out with guns and you don't start shooting people. And some of these other people's been on social media saying, "Oh, couldn't have been too. We was almost one bullet away from freedom." And all. Shame on you! Shame on you! And and I've seen where a lot of people has been put on blast, and they've lost their jobs and all that. And I don't want the violent part, but you know what? You have ticked off enough American patriots with all your stupid stuff through the years, and you've let the liberals let you just keep us from talking, keep us from responding, to where even if we did, then we look like we're a racist when we're not. But we don't want that nonsense. And now what you're seeing is us revolt. You're seeing the patriot, MAGA, whatever you want to call it. Let's take away the patriot. Let's take away the MAGA. Let's just say a pure red-blooded American is ticked off at stupid stuff anymore. That's stupid stuff. And therefore, if these other people feel like they're hidden, I said it a month ago. Take away your money from these places. Take it away. Stop doing business with people that don't have your best interests at heart or your family at heart. Just stop. I don't care how great the product is. I don't care. Stop using it. Show them you're not going to support, and do it with your money. But these people that are posting all this stuff, and I mean, seriously, they should be ashamed. Supposedly, educational people, educational system people that have doctorate degrees and all they're actually, the dumbest things are coming out of their mouth. And I'll tell you why. Because they have come through this next generation of education, which is total bull snot. That's what it is. It's just bull. That's why you have kids graduating high school that can't even write in cursive. They don't know how to count. I'm sick and tired of going into a restaurant or a store somewhere and then giving him a 20 and them going, I owe you $10.29. You see, that's 10. Just give me 2 5s. Okay, but do you want your 29 cents back? You know why they ask that? Because they don't know how to count. And if that is your kid, you ought to slap them in the head and teach them how to count. Teach them how to write in cursive. You have kids that are not even taught in school this way. And these are the ones that's going to govern us in the future. Oh my God, have mercy. God forbid. But back to Trump. Sorry, I get on that. But there's been so much division in people. And I know there'll be a couple who say, well, what you just said was division. No, what I said was my free speech. And I'm allowed to say that because we are a free speech station. We can say what we want and do what we want. I'm not going to worry about them. But you know what? We are in a time to where it's so just crazy. And if anyone hears, I know Trump, he got up and he says, America united. Oh my God, he's the Antichrist. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I don't even want to now. When I hear people say so, I just delete them, be done with them. I don't care if they're a friend or not, because if they're that dumb and ignorant, I can't deal with it anymore. I have too much going on in my life, and you have too much in your life going on that are listening to put up with that stuff. And so I ain't doing it. It's not doing it. But, matter of fact, a lot of religious folks were doing this. When Trump was on the ground and he stood up and he was saying fight and he had blood on his right side, you know what they were saying? He's the Antichrist because the Bible says that the Antichrist will be shot in the head and he will come back to life. And he wasn't killed, guys. He wasn't even fatally wounded. He was just shot through the ear. But we take some stupid stuff and we run with it because we are panic-driven people. Panic-driven, and it's dumb, man. It's just dumb. But the focus that he has since this happened is just great. And here's the thing is when he says American United, that's just being united for the greater good of us as human beings. You know what I'm saying? But although I thought Trump, I thought he did well. He was subdued quite a bit on the first couple of nights. But I'm sure he's still dealing with probably PTSD a little bit. You would probably do the same thing if someone had tried to blow your head off. But after the attempted assassination that's on his life, I'm sure he does have PTSD a little bit, and I'm sure he's a little gun shy of going out in public a little bit. So I think for him to actually step out there with all those thousands of people was pretty daggone brave, and it just shows his character, and it shows that he puts his country before his own self, and that's just what it shows. And that's what it takes to be united, people. That's what it takes. It takes you and me, no matter what adversaries or what things come against us or what things we go through in our life. We must pick ourselves up and clean ourselves up and move forward and continue on. That's what makes America great, is that United States. Get it? United, one. United States, which means all of our states come as one. We represent one. And that's what we should be. And the RNC, the energy, man, whew, that was so high, and a patriotic feel, and the energy that was in the room was just so electrifying and powerful. It was absolutely, let me just say this, there's absolutely no way that the Democratic convention will be able to even touch this. This was a Reagan moment. This is a Reagan moment, guys. As much as people don't want to hear that, that's exactly what it was. It was a Reagan moment. And, the atmosphere in the room and everything, there's no way the Democrats, especially with everything that's going on right now in the Democratic Party, there's no way that they're going to be able to touch this. There's just no way. There's just no way. And, they won't even be able to come close to it. And, the power of the RNC that was there, there's no way, But this week has been it has been a truly a history moment, a moment in time, one that should go down in the history books if they still write those these days. But they're so afraid they're going to offend someone. But, it is a moment in history that every one of us that are listening tonight, and even in the future that are listening, we walk through American history with our own eyes, our own hearts, our feelings, our emotions, everything. And yes, Donald Trump took the hit, but so did we, guys. So did we. We actually took it too, because we are passionate about our country. We are passionate about who's going to help us in our country and lead our country. And we don't want to see that taken down by some goofy person or some goofy agency that puts Barney Fife out with a gun. I mean, come on. We're talking the leader, the future leader of the free world. But this attempt that was on his life, it was just something that we all had to walk through. And guess what? We're through it. And we have all become stronger by seeing the strength that was in him. And we have hope. We have hope. Now, I'm telling you what, if something different would have happened on that Saturday and say it went the opposite direction, we would all of us that are great supporters would all be just really upset, and there'd be a great depression again, I'm sure. But you know what? Our faith has been building, and for the first time in a long time, and I've been saying this for over 2 years now, but in the first time in several years, you are starting to see the plans. There's plans, but you're starting to see the plans come together and things come to fruition that were truly spoken about. It wasn't just a wish. It wasn't just a conspiracy theory. You're seeing things take place. And I don't understand why the Secret Service and all these other guys don't watch some of these other guys like Kim Clement, because then they'll know kind of what's going on. I mean, seriously. I remember as a kid taken to an old Pentecostal church. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's a church that gets wild. But they used to sing this song, "Victory is Mine." And man, that song come back to my heart Monday night when I saw, and I did. And I'm not saying Trump is my savior, because he is not. He is a man. He's a representative of who I'm voting for. But man, that song comes and it says, "Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan to get thee behind, because victory is mine." Let me tell you something, patriots. Victory is ours. It is up to us to claim it and grab it and run with it. It's up to us for that. We can no longer sit back and let the people, even on social media, dog people and say they wish this person would be killed and just go, well, I'm just gonna pray about it. I said that last week. You got to stop. Yeah, you can pray about it, but you have to put some actions to what you do. God gave you free will, and He also gave you a brain with common sense to take care of things. And when He gives you, we're always praying, God, take care of this. God, pray care. And He's like, my me, I gave you the power to do it. He said, greater things shall you do once I'm gone. And Jesus raised people from the dead. So, yeah, where's our mind at? Where's our heart at? But victory is ours, guys. We got to keep the faith. We can't lose hope. We are in the long haul. Let me rephrase that. We're not in the long haul anymore. We're in the home stretch. We got a couple months away here. Couple months away. Victory is ours. America united. It's ours. United we stand. Divided we fall. And if some are going to fall, it's because they're not united. They're just not united. And, in the United States, we will fight to bring back the dream of people building America great and being better, not just as just our country's doing great, we're back on track a little bit. No, I'm talking about your personal life, your homes being better, your finances being better. Is Trump just going to drop it in your lap? No. But opportunities are going to take place if we would just be united and see what's happening and fight for it and see it come to pass. But you're going to have a better life. And we need to start building our dreams, because if we don't dream, guess what? We perish. We're just perish. Man, I'm stoked about this. Man, I was pretty ticked off when that happened with the bullet and everything. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty irate. But now we're sitting in a different spot here. And I know Trump's probably detail that he's got now is, I'm sure he's a little gun shy, but I'm sure he's going to be taken care of. There was a video I saw, and it was of Biden last week at the he's at the NAACP convention, and the camera pulled back and was showing for like 2 seconds the audience, and there was so many seats empty. It was, and actually they reported that they were significantly down. And I personally spoke to one of my contacts, which gives me intel, that is on the inside of the NAACP. And they told me this. They said, our numbers are down. I asked them, I said, well, what is your concerns? And they said, well, people aren't giving the way they used to. And as strong as it has been in the past, it isn't anymore. And out of 10 people said that they felt that giving and supporting that was no longer something they wanted to do, because the agenda had turned to a straight Democratic agenda. And by the life of me, I don't understand people that support even the NAACP that supports the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party, if you would educate yourself, you would see that the Democratic Party is the one that has pushed slavery. And the saddest part about this is that same group will still say, but I'm so loyal to the Democrats. And you got Joe Biden they've been so loyal to that it's called him every N-word in the book. Several times. Stereotyping them. Not only that, just calling them every name in the book. But they don't think, oh, well, that ain't no big deal, but Trump's a racist. Really? Golly. But anyways, the NAACP, they're having issues too. They really are. And people aren't supporting because of, they're seeing their agenda. And I even saw a thing today of a panel that was left over from last night after they were all Democrats. And there's probably 6 different videos out of different ones, but maybe more than that. But the one I saw, they had like 12 or 13 people on this panel, and they were all diehard Biden people, riding with Biden, going to ride with him all the way down to the boat ramp, or ride with him down to the, I don't know, the dementia farm. I don't know. But anyway, they were riding with Biden. But then after last night, out of those 12, I think like 9 or 10 was like, I'm not voting for Biden because I listened to his voice, I watched his mannerisms, I listened to his speech, and I truly believe that he's wanting America united. And he's not pushing a message of dictatorship. He's pushing a message of unity. And why can't we get on board with that? Why can't we? It's crazy. And even the Biden campaign, even people donating to the Biden campaign, you've got companies holding up. One company was holding $90 million. Good God. $90 million in donation money, holding it from Biden. And not only him, there's others, tons of others, holding their money because, one, they no longer support him. And what we've been saying since the day he was running for president is the guy's got the mental problem and he's not good. This is DC's take. Have you noticed how the last year and a half, 2 years, up until now, Biden has slowly started doing more and more goofy stuff? You know what I think it is? This is me personally. I think before he was highly medicated and it was helping him with his mind. But I think now that they want, because the Democratic Party is so great about just slapping each other with a baseball bat. But I think what it is they've pulled his medicine from him. That's what I think. That's just my take on it. But all I can say is this. I said last week, I give Biden a week and he'll probably be resigning or something will happen. And man, it's been all over the place that he's supposedly supposed to step down this weekend by Sunday. We'll see. Time will tell. We'll see. But you know what? The Democratic Party has let Biden do so much now that they're going to let him crash and destroy this time. And they'll blame and Biden will go down in history as the president that destroyed the Democratic Party. That's what he'll do. And that's because of his buddies, his friends that have patted him on the back and kissed his rear end and changed his diapers and whatever else. They've all supported him and now they're against him. Yeah. I was going to touch in on a little bit on the sniper, whatever you want to call it, but I'm not even going to do that. I don't feel like doing that. But a week ago, I told you that DC was in a panic mode, and it has been in a panic mode. That's why this whole thing with Joe Biden has been going on, and that's why they've been trying to. And now you got Obama stepping up saying you need to resign, and for the sake of the Democratic Party. I got news for you there, Oblaba. The Democratic Party sucks already. It doesn't matter what you do to it; it's still full of swampy trash. And until that's taken care of, it'll always be what it'll be. It'll always enslave the African Americans, and that it will. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate mail over this, but I don't care because it's the truth, guys. You got to see what's going on, and so they're going to let Biden destroy the Democratic Party, at least this time around. And it doesn't matter how, and here's the thing. I know a lot of people are panicking. We all panic so much and we don't need to. Don't even need to. But a lot of people are going, well, what's going to happen if they get somebody strong? What if Michelle Obama comes in there? I don't care who comes in there now. They're only several months away. There's not enough campaigning they can do to fix this. Their choice is to put somebody in there that's just going to suffice for this Democratic convention coming up, but it's going to crash and burn. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But, if we as Americans, patriots, MAGA, whatever you want to call us, with one voice declare that we won't back down and we're going to make sure everything's up and up, then you know what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The Bible says, if my people were called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then I will hear from heaven. And so we have to do. I'm not going to touch on the VP right now because I'm 35 minutes into this thing already. Just me yapping about stuff. But on the RNC, let me get back to that because, man, I really enjoyed that. And I'm going to play you some audio here in just a second. Just hang tight with me, guys. Eric Trump, when he came out, man, it was powerful. He comes out and let me just say this real quick here. I know we had discussed doing tonight on the blueprint of the next American president, and I am foregoing it because of everything that's happened this week. So just put that in there. But anyway, the RNC here. But Eric Trump, man, he just kicked tail with it. And Hulk Hogan, what about that one? Good Lord, I didn't expect him. And Kid Rock, man, that dude, man, we need to have church services like that. He rocked it, man. He just rocked it. And Dana White, man, it was so impacting upon my life what he said and how he respects Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump and his entrance last night was just absolutely stunning. It was just classy. It was classy, guys. And I like how the fact that when he come out and he stopped and he stood there for a second and then he walked out a little bit, and then here comes the two firefighters carrying out the hat, the helmet, and the gear from the firefighter Corey that passed away, that was murdered by this idiot. Let me tell you something. That was so classy. It's classy. That's America, guys. That was America. And it just showed me that, one, he is compassionate and he does have a heart. And the way he walked out, and then also the way he walked over and kissed the helmet. Man, I mean, I've been on both sides of fire, police, and all that. And I'm telling you what, my heart, man, I'm not lying. I teared up. I did, because it was just like a moment in history once again, that we are reminded how fragile life is, and how this man, he went to an event with his family to support his candidate, and he died saving his family's life, and the candidate lived. I mean, that's unbelievable. And so it just shows me how resilient we are as Americans, how powerful we are, how strong we are. And I tell you what, right now, that was one patriotic moment. And I love it. Just love it. And Trump's speech of his assassination attempt, of how he said, this will be the only time you're going to hear me discuss it with you because it's so painful. I have never heard really a president or a presidential candidate be so transparent. And that tells me this: in the midst of what he went through, he still had a spiritual experience. And I truly believe, you may not believe in God, you may believe in Buddha or whatever, but here, I believe in God. I believe him. I believe at that moment, Donald Trump had a spiritual experience, and I believe God did something in him. I truly do. And like I said, from the first night when he entered, the very first night when he entered, I saw a different man enter that room. His countenance on his face was different. His demeanor had changed. I mean, how could he not be changed? And I actually said last week, but we'd be in a different, we would be seeing a different Trump emerge, and we did. We truly did. And, but with that, today we've had so many things take place. We've actually had all this stuff going on, but I'm going to read you a couple things real quick here. Donald Trump, he said, "I stand before you in this arena only by," and this was a powerful thing, guys, powerful. He says, "I stand before you in this arena only by," here we go, "the grace of Almighty God." Boom. I mean, how fantastic. I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God, Donald Trump. I mean, and I will say this. I don't know if many of you caught it last night when they said an American lion roars. I don't know if you heard that or not. If you have not heard my take that I do, that I've written, it's called The Lion. It's on our YouTube channel. You need to go listen to it. Go listen to it. Share it also. But, this is Trump, okay? An American lion roars. The stamina that he still showed after everything he'd been through. He speaks all night and days after he's been shot, technically almost in the head. And he is still a world champion. Trump crushes the all-time record again. And what was funny too is all those balloons come down and the news people are like, I've never seen gold balloons. Let me tell you something about the significance of the gold balloons is this. Yeah, you have red and you have blue that are coming down and you do have white, but the gold represents this. We are about to step in wealth. We are about to step in a totally different realm here. Yeah, we had him before and things didn't turn out, but I'm not dependent upon him to create it, but I believe God is doing something through him that is going to help bring our families back and our country back, and there is wealth involved. The Bible says that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So, the gold balloons falling was just classy, man. And I was like, that's a true Trump move right there. Yeah, you can have red, white, and blue, but let's throw some gold in there because I want everybody to know that wealth is coming to us. And it's going to fall down on us like rain, like these balloons are falling. And then also his tone he takes. He's calm and he's sensitive and he's sincere. And the one thing that moved me too, he says, I'm not supposed to be here tonight. And he tells about the attempt upon his life. And of course, everybody's like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And it just shows that America started clapping and commenting back, yes, you are, yes, you are. Let me tell you something. We want a leader that's not going to run. And that's exactly what he did, guys. Took it in the head and still shook his fist and said, we're going to fight. We're going to make it through this. And, Hulk Hogan hypes up the crowd and Billy Graham reads the prayer. And, Dana White, toughest man on earth. And meanwhile, here we go. Meanwhile, the Democrats are in chaos as Biden, got these, rumors of withdrawal and that are running wild. They're just running wild, And I don't know if you caught this before I move on to this next segment, but Trump at the very end he played that song. That song was played, and everybody's like, "Well, what is that? That's like an opera." You can say what you want, but I know what I know about Q. I know. I gotta be careful, but I know. And also, I know the drops that have come down that people said, oh, well, it's legit. But Trump sent a strong message last night through the song that he played. They said, oh, this is the song that Trump chose to be played after his speech. And the opera singer sings Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma is played at the end of a film, okay? The Sum of All Fears. Look it up. Now here we go. You want a cue drop? I'm going to give you a big old cue drop here, guys. The song that is played at the Sum of All Fears at the end of it, which in time it's all the traitors and deep state actors were executed. Think about that. Trump plays this. The Sum of All Fears is mentioned several times in the cue drops. This is going to be your best intel you're getting in a good while, guys. I'm telling you this. Trump sent a strong, strong message last night. Strong message that all the traitors and deep state actors, it's coming for you. It's coming for you. The American people are okay with it coming for you. And Trump was sending that message through that song. And here's the thing. The media is so stupid that they play it and everyone around the world hears it. Everyone sees it, including the deep state actors that are about to be taken care of. And just so you know, look up all your Q drops and see how many times the sum of all fears is actually mentioned. Now, you tell me this, guys. Those of you that don't believe in Q and you criticize it, let me ask you this. How many times have you heard the sum of all fears? But when you go back and you just research, for those of you who don't believe, just go research and you see how many times it's mentioned in Q drops. Why would Trump, here we go, why would Trump drop that Q drop in the midst of that RNC? I'll tell you why. Because he sent a loud daggone message to all those guys. We're coming for you guys. You can, all you traitors and the deep state, you're all about to be done with. You're about to be done with. And of course, this morning, New York Post, the front of their paper says, "A new dawn. Trump preaches unity, vows to heal the divided America at the RNC speech." And there's even other people that's actually been tweeting today. It says, I thought it was odd that after Trump's speech that he would play the Nessun Dorma. It is played at the end of these films. Why would he do that? And then, of course, I don't respond to everybody, but I respond. I said, it's treason documentary. Go check it out. And, oh man. And Trump, his tweet, he was like, we live in a world of miracles. I mean, let me tell you this. Does it sound like a man that doesn't believe in God? For those of you who say that he doesn't, we believe in a world of miracles, and none of us knows God's plan or where life's adventures will take us. But if the events of last Saturday make anything clear, listen to me, guys. Listen to me. If it makes anything clear, is it that every single moment we have on earth is a gift from God. A gift from God. We have to make the most of every day for the people and the country we love. The attacker in Pennsylvania wanted to stop our movement, but the truth is, this movement has never been about me. It has always been about you. It's always been about you. And it's always been about hardworking, patriotic citizens in America. And, guys, I mean, I know he believes in God. So anyways, I'm going to play you a couple things here. One is, and I know a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to hear it. But Manasseh Jordan, Prophet Manasseh Jordan, one of the things, he prophesied this in the year 2023. So listen up here.
And the background about the 47th president. I need everyone to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. Because one of the things about this particular 47th president is that he's going to be a person that will look as if, or will appear to be dead in a sense, almost as if he is the lame duck in and before his running of before the running of the presidency. This is very important because when I prayed, the Lord gave me 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9, and it begins to declare in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 9, persecuted but not forsaken, struck down but not.
What do you think about that? Yeah, that's good stuff there. But moving on from Trump, today you had all the late breaking news with the outages. First thing this morning it was early this morning, I heard about it, and I just wondered what all was going to take place, but here we go. Pull it up here.
Background about.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Hoda Kotb.
Good morning. Good to see you. You are coming on the air right now with breaking news. A massive global technical outage tied to CrowdStrike, which is a major cybersecurity provider, has knocked critical computer infrastructure offline all across the country and, in fact, all around the world. It's an issue with a software update. It's impacting lots and lots of Microsoft computer systems worldwide, from businesses to emergency services, 911, traffic lights, transit systems, and it's having a major impact on airlines as well. American, Delta, United, they're all keeping their flights grounded. You're looking at some live scenes From the airport, it is chaos again, 6 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is the scene now. They're having difficulty even printing any kind of boarding passes. This, of course, is a developing situation. The full scope of this problem remains to be seen. And Brian, as we get started right here in Studio 1A, we should point out computers at NBC News right here as we're getting on the air. We're trying to do some workarounds here to get on the air, but this is something that's affecting people worldwide.
All right. Yeah, and it did affect people worldwide, and we know that. With all these, here's the thing, and I go back to Q. You need to pay attention to what's happening around us. I said it 2 weeks ago. Watch your surroundings. Watch where you're at. Mind your own business. Don't get involved in things that will come about. I think we're going to see, let me say this. I know we're going to see some things happen because there's no way the Democratic Party is going to let this just smooth over and go over. I fully expect a black swan event. I thought it was the Trump thing. It could be. I doubt it. We're going to see something huge take place. When it does, keep your nose in your business. Don't instigate. Protect yourself. But I will tell you this. This is DC's take. Get you some water. Get you some water. Store it back. Get you some canned goods that you can store back. Foods that you can eat on. Survive on. Not saying you're going to have to do it for months and months and where, but you don't know. Here's the thing. Just like today, everybody was panicking over this one update that was screwed up. Everybody started, cyber attack. And it was an update that was coded wrong. At least that's what they're saying. So I'm saying this. Just that one simple little thing can cause everybody to panic. I can't use my cars. I can't buy gas. I can't even go to the grocery store now. Do you realize what kind of chaotic moment that would be if it shut everything down like that? Because then you're going to have people looting and robbing stores. Well, I guess, you know what? I guess then we could say we're Democrat. But seriously, they'd be going in and just taking food because they're scared that we're not going to be able to. And that's why I'm saying at any given moment that can happen. So it's better to be prepared than unprepared. No, I'm not selling food. No, I'm not selling things. Although this program tonight is sponsored by Patriot Water. And great stuff. And you just need to be prepared. Need to be prepared. Because that kind of stuff that happens can just be crazy. So I'm going to play you this real quick here and I'm going to move on. There was a lady today that was at the airport, and she was talking about what was happening with the flights here. And so I'll let you hear this.
There are 8 people in my party.
There's
8
13
people,
in ours.
$456 a ticket, and they're giving me $100 back. That is it.
Airlines, hospitals, businesses around the world, banks as well, reeling from a massive tech outage. You can see here just how backed up airports are right now. Look at those crowds.
And we're screwed. This man is getting married. We have reservations. We have cars that we paid for. I paid $380 in a shuttle to shuttle everyone here this morning. They have been here since before me.
All right. So this lady's pretty ticked, and I get it. I understand why. But at any given moment, this can take place, guys. Any given moment. We must be prepared. And being prepared means more than having ammo and having guns and having protection. You can have all the ammos, guns, and protection you want, but if you don't have a little stockpile of food, you're kind of screwed. You're not going to be able to eat off of a gun. Unless you're going to be nibbling on the leather of an old holster. But being prepared, there's nothing wrong with that. It's called being smart, being vigilant. Because here's the thing. If that would happen again, and say it shut us down for 3 days, all hell's going to break loose. Because people, they'll just immediately panic. Well, I'm stuck here. I've paid this, and then there's going to be, well, they're not giving me and that's what the lady was saying. They're only giving me $100, and I paid $3. I get it. She's ticked. She has every right to be. But I'm saying this. In a moment's notice, our lives can change. Just like Saturday. In a moment's notice, boom, it can change. We don't know what's lurking out there, what's for our best interest and what's not for our best interest. But that's why you need to be prepared. I'm always trying to be prepared. Matter of fact, I'm kind of over-prepared. People make fun of me. All the backpacks and the things I carry with me when I go and in my car and everywhere I go. You know, I've had people say, gosh, that's just crazy. What do you got in that stuff? It ain't none of your business what I got in that stuff. It's stuff to make sure that I survive in life. And if I have to, help other people. But anyway, moving on from that, one of the things I saw, and I want to touch on this, is, you know, and like I said earlier, if you'd like to sponsor us, you can contact us through the website. You can go to contact and contact us if you're wanting to sponsor us or even be an underwriter for the show. It'd be great. You can email us also at dc@eiobn.com, or you can even call us. Leave a message at area code 845-261-7949 and leave a message and someone will get back with you. And you know, I want to encourage you to be a part of the DC Army and be a part of, you know, the guardians that we are and what we're doing here with free speech. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But masks, we all have seen that. Well, they're wearing a mask and they're wearing a mask. And I've heard so many people, and I've been waiting, just kind of waiting to throw this out there because people are very edgy about it. And say, oh, they ain't wearing no mask, and oh, that's Biden does not have brown eyes and he does not have blue eyes, 2 different times. You know, you're born with one and you keep it. You know what I'm saying? And so, how do I feel about Biden? I know that somebody else has played Biden several times. I know for a fact they have, and I know for a fact that that's winding down. And so, just so you know, the CIA actually has programmed us for years. To believe that was actually not possible. Not possible. Oh, it ain't possible. No one can do that. No one can look lifelike. I can. I can wear a disguise and you ain't even gonna know them, and you won't even know who I am. You'll think I'm somebody else. And if it's credentials, you know, they can give you credentials of somebody else. They can give you Social Security. They can make everything. They can make anything. But for years, the CIA has talked about this, and you know, one of the things that I've seen and known about was how these work, and you know, one of the things that I was going to show you here tonight, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. We got time to do this here. One of the things I'm going to show you is is a couple things here. Is one, now you're going to laugh, guys. I know you're going to think he's lost his head, man. He's lost his head, but it is possible to have people around you that are not who they say they are. And now, you know, through Q and through this movement that we're doing, you know. Some of us, like me, have known this for a long time, and it's kind of scary. And what's been kind of scary is you can't really say too much about it, at least years ago, or you didn't live to tell it. And of course, now a lot of people are like still questioning, and is this reality? Is this like real? Is this reality? And it is reality, guys. It's awkward, but it is reality. And this clip I'm going to play you actually explains something, and when it's over, I'm going to tell you. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, let's start with this. Let's just start with this. Well, let me play this real quick here. This is actually, and this is what you're going to see too, take place within the parties. You're going to start seeing people that never supported Trump start to support him. And it's quite funny, really. Pull it up here. This is actually good old Mark Zuckerberg. This is our Mark Zuckerberg, but here we go.
And pump his fist in the air with the American flag.
I'm sorry about that. Here we go.
On a personal note, it's, you know, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Duh. Yeah. But anyway, for some reason my video ain't coming over, but I have a video. I'll play it for you next week for sure. But there is someone that, and I've got proof of this. I got the video of them actually explaining it themselves, and of what they would do, and what they, you're going to know exactly who they are when you hear this. But that won't be tonight. It'll be video next time. We're on next week probably that I'll do this. But actually, this person is someone that was on your TV that you saw almost every day, and they came out publicly, and I have the video, and I'll play you the audio next week. But they came out saying that they have actually been working as an intel agent in the intelligence for the CIA. And along with that, they were wearing masks, and different masks. And this was back in George W., his presidency, and even before that. And we'll get into that later. And I know people say, "Oh, well, that's there ain't no way." Let me tell you something. Some of these public figures that are around, they're plants. Okay, some of these talk show hosts, they're doing, it's crazy some of the stuff that goes on. The American people would just poop their pants if they knew what was going on all these years. But there's a reason why there was secrecy to it, so they didn't know. But right now I'm going to play you this here, and this actually here is very true. And this is a perfect example of someone working in a double life, pretty much. It's just absolutely crazy. But here we go.
All these years, the Reverend Al Sharpton admits he was an FBI informant.
Yes, he says that he was the cat that got the rats, but others say that Sharpton's secret life was not by choice. CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer has the story.
Michelle Obama probably never knew that one of the guests at her recent White House 50th birthday party was an FBI mafia informant who helped bring down members of the Genovese crime family. Reverend Al Sharpton, now a confidant of both the First Lady and the President and of Mayor Bill de Blasio, has his own unique take on his days as the government's confidential informant number 7.
In my own mind, I was not an informant. I was cooperating with investigations.
The revelations threaten to embarrass Sharpton as he kicks off his National Action Network convention this week with de Blasio and President Obama the headliners. But de Blasio, who calls
Al Sharpton, freaking troublemaker is what he is. But he's been a rat. You know what? If those guys knew that he was a rat back then, he'd be Jimmy Hoffa. What would happen to him? Been gone. And you can hate me all you want. Al Sharpton is the amazing racist. He's a race baiter. Him and Jesse Jackson, same way. Race baiters. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And, but yeah, these people have worked as multiple things. And doubles in our life, and so when people say, "Oh, the masks aren't real," they're real, guys. They're real, absolutely real. And masks are real, and yes, people are amongst us. And you may think that it's, you may, oh, well, that person, I don't really recognize them, but yeah, they're nice. You don't know if it's actually somebody else sometimes. Now, am I saying every day you walk out and you see somebody, or your neighbor Bob or whoever, Joe or Janie or whatever lives next door, is someone walking around with a mask? No, I'm not saying that. There's a reason why you're doing that. You're either gathering intel, surveillance. You know how I know? You want me to tell you how I know? Because I've done it. I've done intel. I've done surveillance. I've done all this stuff. I know for a fact. And Sally Jesse Raphael, y'all may remember her. She passed away not too long ago. But actually, she had the talk show host, the redheaded girl with glasses and all that. and that's the video I want to show you or play with you next week and let you hear it. But she's actually talking live, and she's doing an interview, and she's saying how, she was part of the intelligence agencies, the CIA, and they were actually working on the masks and making sure that the masks would actually be lifelike, not like a cartoon and not like Halloween, but something that was so lifelike that you could not tell. And so she goes in with her fellow whatevers, and they're talking to her, and she's in the White House. She's in the Oval Office with George W. Bush Jr., and she's telling him, this is what the CIA has done, and we can do these masks, we can do this. And he's like, well, I wish you would show me. And she says, right. Well, but this is what we're doing, and we have these lifelike masks, and they fit so tight to your face, and they go down your chest a little bit, and all these things. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, I'd really like to see that. And he says, well, what do you got in your bag? And she says, oh, and she opens up his bag, and she goes, yeah, just some stuff. He goes, oh, well, when are you going to show me this mask? She says, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing it right now. And he says, what? Who are you? And she says, I won't tell you who I am. And long story short, she ended up telling him who she was. But he was blown away that Sally Jesse Raphael was sitting in front of him in the Oval Office. You don't believe me? Go research it, guys. I'm telling you the absolute doggone truth. She was one of those. So yes, we do have people around us like that. In politics, too. In politics. Absolutely. And not only that, we live in a world now where, you really have to pray and seek and see if something's real or not. And you trust your gut, trust your spirit. And so, because actually, it's not really a joke any longer. It's not a joke anymore. It's real life, guys. We see more and more of this, all over the place. You see it on TV, you see it on the news, you see it in movies, and in the movies, they can blur things, change things. AI now, you got AI that's involved. You got green screens. I mean, there's so many things. There's no longer building big sets to make it look like you're in the White House. You could be sitting on the toilet and make it look like you're sitting behind the presidential desk with filters and all kinds of different things. But we live in a world where these masks are real, and it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I know that a lot of people don't like to talk about Q, don't like to talk about anything they feel may be negative. And it's not to be negative. It's just that we've been through so much, guys. We've been through so much. And through so much our country's been just in the past week. It's been absolutely absurd. And we have to pray. We have to pray. And we have to seek God. We have to seek Him for guidance. We have to seek Him for knowledge. We have to seek Him. And I just want to leave you with this, and I'm closing down here. We're at an hour and 8 minutes now. But in a world, in a world like ours, it's just upside down. With politics and religion, and world economics, and of course natural disasters and the wars that's going on, and just so much more. It can cause us to be depressed, oppressed. It can cause us to have all kinds of emotional things going on and psychological. But no, you need to know this more than ever before. You got to hold on to your faith. You must hold on to your faith. And if you haven't listened to any of my YouTube videos, you need to go back and listen to The Lion. The Lion it's great. I was inspired to write that in the midst of everything that's been going on with President Trump and how they just tried to destroy him, because they knew that if they got to him, they got to us. And if they could destroy his dream, they could destroy our dream. But guess what? We're stronger than that. We're more resilient than that. You push us back in the corner, we're no longer going to sit there and take it. We're going to come out and show you what we're made of. And then they cry around and go, I can't believe they act that way. Well, don't push us in the corner anymore. Don't do it. But listen to that video. You need to be encouraged and uplifted. See, no matter how bad, today may be, no matter how bad Saturday may be, and it was horrible. We made it to yesterday to see our president stand before us and say, I'm still here. I haven't tucked my tail. I haven't ran. And we're still going to win this thing. We're going to win it together. We're going to be united. And we have to be united. And like I said, no matter what situation you're in, even if someone's doing something to you, know this. There's always someone in a worse situation. And we may be so fixed on the politics. I can't believe that the Democrats are doing this, do that. Can I tell you what? There was a lady today and one tomorrow. But there's a lady that's burying her husband. And the daughter don't have a father anymore because they went to support just the right for freedom. And somebody tried to take that away. So our lives are not that bad. We're going to press through and we're going to build. We're going to break through this thing that's been against us. We're going to succeed. We're going to dream again. We're going to build again. We're going to unite again because we are America United. Giving up and giving in is not an option, everybody. It's not an option. We must fight to win, fight to exist, pray, and pray. Stay focused on the greater things. Find a cause, if you find something that you believe in and support it, back it, help it grow, because you're going to grow. You will grow with that. But I want you to know this. America is on its way back from the tattered, torn flag. America is on the way back from the broken heart or the poor. America is on the back because we are united. And not only that, we unite against the enemy that would come against us and even our president to be elect. We stand against that. And here's the thing. And listen to me clearly. If you want to get through to our president, you have to come through us Americans first. And I can guarantee you, there's enough of us that can create a situation that you don't want. Am I saying go start something? No, I'm saying this. If our president needs us, we need to be there. We cannot stop at this moment and say he did a great speech, we've won this thing, because they'll still try to pull everything out of the book and try to destroy it. We must fight to win, and we're going to win. And when President Trump is sworn in, I'm going to be in D.C. I promise you that. I was supposed to have been there the last time he was going to be inaugurated. I was supposed to be on a team there. But I'm telling you this, we're going to make it. We're going to get through this thing. And you're going to dream again and build again. And I hope you tune in next time with DC. And I hope tonight found you well. And I pray that God blesses you. God blesses Donald Trump and his family and protect them and guide them. And God bless America and bring us closer to you, Lord.